saw the central book and I had a joint in my pocket. And the guy says, get rid of that, you know? So it's a good thing I didn't go to my other pocket and had some blow. I'm kidding. I don't do that stuff.
Wanted for
I tried
mayor.
cocaine
Just
for
remember
20
that.
years.
Did you inhale?
I did inhale. I still inhale. I think smoking pot, everyone should smoke pot rather than drink. It should be available here. I don't even believe in taxing it. Everyone says, well, let's tax it.
Yeah,
Forget about it.
they're
Let's
gonna
just grow
mess it all up.
Anyone can grow it. Forget about taxing it. Then, of course, you know, these pharmaceutical companies will
Wow,
get involved. No, just everyone should be able to grow it, okay? And somebody wants to...
Have you grown it? Are you a
I
good
grew it, but
gardener?
no, I'm from California, and where grape pot comes from, but not Northern California, but Southern California. And I grew it way back, and it was really bad weed. It was like the stuff that gets
Like
you
when it was
tired.
$30 an ounce?
Yeah, $10 a lip, all right? I used to sell pot, and I hid it in my mother's room, all right? So
You know, you were sharing
sleazy
skeletons
character.
in the closet up the wazoo. You can have as many cookies as you want.
I am, listen, that's why I'm running
I
for
love you,
office.
RaNdy. I believe in
because
you.
I want
We
all
want
of my
politicians
skeletons
like
to come
him.
out.
It's only a
I
skeleton.
want all of my skeletons to come out of the closet, and I'm
Because
trying
you're
to write a book.
honest.
I'm trying to write a book, and I can't remember some of the
That's
things
because you smoke
during
so
my
much pot.
blackouts, coke, drinking. You know, I did all of that.
Do you
in the
drink
West
anymore?
Village. Well, if I can get to the bar, is it happy hour here?
Yeah.
All right. So,
It's always happy hour here.
So are
they
you?
asked
Are
me
you?
for my ID. I thought that was nice. all
Yeah.
right?
So I just want to know: are you enjoying running for mayor,
Yes, I
or is
am.
it stressful
I'm
and
doing a lot
driving you
of ball
crazy?
busting. I'm driving everyone crazy. I always win the debate. So once I've been
You
on,
weren't on the debate
I'm
last
not
night.
the one last night, but I was out there with about 20 of my followers, and I got to rain on their parade.
Oh,
Their
you did?
charade. Their charade. I was outside, and I drove them all crazy. All of their supporters that were busting, it was like central casting, bringing. As soon as it was over, they all went back to the bus and would drop downtown. Right? They got their $5 in a subway card. That's who shows up. No one's interested in this race. You
Right.
understand? If someone said Bill de Blasio's across the street.
We'd stay here with you.
No, they were giving away free hot dogs. He couldn't pack a toll booth, okay?
Wow.
And neither could Joe Lhota. No one cares. These are not charismatic or interesting characters. I happen to be, because I was in show business for 40 years, 35 years. Like that, I'm going to be running a club up in Albany during the, let's just say, recession.
Say if you won.
I'm not going to win. You know what I mean? It's like that. If you want to know the truth, you can't handle the truth. I
Right.
don't want to win,
Right.
because then it'd be real tough work. You know what I mean?
Would you live in Gracie Mansion if you won?
I would, Gracie Mansion would be like Haight-Ashbury. No, I'd make that like Occupy. I'd let Occupy take over Gracie Mansion.
Nice.
And then I'd really tax Wall Street. They can leave the city. They go to New Jersey. And they can stay in New Jersey, and we can take all that great property, Wall Street, all the way down John Street, all of the streets, and we could turn it into affordable housing. That's what I
Nice.
would like to do, and get rid of these bums. You know what I mean?
So how do we do it? I'd be on that team.
Well, you have to either, start arming yourself and have a revolution, which is not going to happen.
But I believe in guitars, not guns.
Well, look, they're armed and you're not. This is what most fascist countries arm themselves and they take away guns. All right, look at all the Jews at the Warsaw Ghetto. Don't you think they should have been armed?
Yes.
Okay, so I think people, there's going to be a new war on guns, like a war on drugs, and it's a war on black people. Well, the new war on guns is going to be another reason for them to break into your home without probable cause. All right, that's what's going to happen because of knee-jerk reaction. And look, I don't like guns. I don't carry a gun.
Right.
I think I had a Daisy BB gun when I was 12 years old. That was it. Even that was too scary for me. So I don't like it. But
I think it's a necessity.
look in Italy or in Italy during the take a look at that area in the 1850s. In papal states or in the Austrian-controlled areas or the French Bourbon-controlled areas, if you got caught with a gun, you were executed on the spot. All right, on the spot. Because they were worried about people who were disgruntled with the economic and the political situation in all three of those areas. Until Garibaldi had the 1 million man, 1 million gun, 1 million rifle fund, and they liberated the entire continent. So
Is that the chocolate guy?
Garibaldi, you don't know Garibaldi? There's a big statue at
Isn't that chocolate?
Washington Square Park. Rudy Giuliani wanted to remove it because he thought the guy was too far to the left. Rudy Giuliani notice his shoulders now above his head. Rudy Giuliani was feeling around like this. He was the biggest You know, we went from 5 years, 8 years with guy, Michael Bloomberg, who likes stop and frisk. We believe it's a very necessary tool. Creemos que muy importante poner más negros en carceles. His Spanish is worse than Bush's English.
Yeah.
God bless America. America, we're fighting against cicadas. Fighting against cicadas. That was a great Bush.
You
I'm
do a
just
good
hogging all the
Bush. You
time.
even look like him when you do
It was
it.
my Reagan. I
I
would say
have.
that was my very first one that was actually Nixon. I started out doing Nixon. Then I did Jim McCloud for 4 years when he was.
So you are civil.
Yes, I am. Well, I'm an impressionist. I was on the Tonight Show.
And today's Johnny Carson's birthday.
And I was.
Yeah, today
No.
is. Johnny, I told you we were doing
I
this
gotta
for
tell
you.
you, I was on CaRSon's show.
Ah,
1984.
Oh.
1984. It's on Johnny CaRSon. Our next guest is from Pomona, California. Please welcome RaNdy CreDiCo. I did all my impressions. I did Jack Nicholson. I did everybody back
you
then.
look like that when you do
Well, I
that.
was
You're a
supposed
good.
to Nicholson. I'm joking, I didn't do that, but I did do a lot of political impressions. Ted Kennedy, Jesse Jackson, who was a very important figure at the time. So that's what I did. I did impressions, you know. I did political impressions.
Wow.
That was '84 when I did the show. I was 3 years old, you know.
Ah,
And
But it was a Jake or Patrick one.
You know, I did Dangerfields and I moved to New York City, okay? And he was all upset with me, RaNdy, who I used to do a lot of blow with in the green room there. You know, he and Red Fox and I, we all did a lot of blow, you know, but everyone did it. You know, I'll tell you, if I was black, I'd still be in prison. You know, and that's... No, I did, RaNdy and I used to, on 61st and 1st Avenue, first move to the city, we did, like, so much, you know, everybody did back then. It was like, you know, everyone did blow. You know, like I said, I tried it for 25 years, I didn't like it, so I
Finally
yeah,
gave it up.
that's enough of this crap. You know, so I'm eating these
Yeah.
horrible cookies that,
But you
know,
can
get
dip
in a
it.
vat
It's
next to-
National Boston Cream Pie
Oh,
Day,
is
so we
Is it really?
It
And
is.
Johnny Carson's birthday.
and Johnny Carson's birthday. And also, one tidbit of information for politics is, I don't know if you know this, but this day, October 23rd, 25,000 women marched in New York City demanding the right to vote in 1915. Do you remember that?
1950, yes, I do.
Yeah?
Yes. And
So-
it was led by Margaret Sanger, right? Most likely.
Well, that I don't know.
Isadora Duncan.
Wasn't she a dancer?
Yes, she like died. She had like a scarf like.
Yeah.
But she was a progressive person now.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that
Louise
happened on
Bryant,
this day.
there's the Reds, the movie Reds.
That's about
Jack
communism,
Nicholson.
right?
Well, it's about the socialist movement here in the 1910s, 1920s. And, you know, it has Chumleys in it. Remember the Chumleys? On the west
Yeah.
side?
No.
In the West Village? Oh, Emma Goldman used to hang out there.
So what brought you to New York? Comedy?
I thought this was going to be a real hip city when I moved out of California. I was working in Las Vegas. I did political. I was working with Red Buttons
Okay.
in Reno, Nevada. And he and I were watching the Democratic convention together. And that's the year Carter, you're too young, Carter won and Ted Kennedy lost. But we were watching this speech. Ted Kennedy said, "And for those whose cares have been our concern, the fight goes on, the cause endures, and the dream shall never die." And Red Buttons and I, we used to hang out together at this Mexican restaurant called La Fonda. We drank margaritas, and he tapped into all of the dancers there, because he was famous. But he was a real liberal guy. And the other guy there was Eddie Bracken, who was in a Preston Sturgis film back in the 30s. But he was conservative. He was a friend of the Reagans. And so Red said, "You should go to New York. You know, with that kind of progressive political act that you have, get out of here. Go to New York." So I went east, young man. I came to New York in 1980 and 81. And this is where I got the Tonight Show, Dangerfields. I got a lot of television shows out here, but I got even too political for this city because I was way too political for California and Las Vegas. I was at the time. And so I came here, became very good friends with Bill Kunstler. William Kunstler, in fact, his family and I are still the closest of friends, and I spent a lot of time with the Kunstlers. And I ran the William Kunstler Fund for Racial Justice for 1997 to 2010. And what we did was we changed New York's Rockefeller drug laws. We really did. We really get the credit. You ask anyone in Albany about the work we did fighting the racist, repressive, medieval Rockefeller, draconian Rockefeller drug laws. Because I had been working with Richard Belzer. Boy, what a name dropper I am.
Yeah, you are. I saw him at Caroline's, actually.
Yeah, all right. Well, I was doing a lot of
Were you there that
hanging out
night?
with him.
It was like a
No.
lot of things, like Daryl Hall was there.
Yeah, listen, I'm not that fat. I'm not that impressed.
His table
Anybody,
had a
so-
lot of interesting people.
Yeah.
Christopher
Yeah,
Walken.
Yeah, I know. He likes to hang out with.
They were
those
all there,
types.
yeah.
You know, and of course he's in this phony show called Law and Order,
Now.
giving the NYPD a good,
Joke.
look. You know, no, it's like, well, it's like, look, Belgium, it's all drug cases. They're
And
mighty drug
I
cases.
see.
There's no murders that they're solving. The NYPD, there's no like great Columbos and Kojaks.
All
They
right,
don't exist
but
there.
all right. So, like, are you going to run for president?
I'm going to run for governor maybe, but I'm going to be working out of Albany beginning January. I've got a club up there.
Like a comedy club?
A comedy club. I work a couple days a week. Look, I'm burlesquing the system. I am parodying
So how
the system.
do we actually
You
do
vote.
something?
You vote for me on. But once someone like me gets close to winning, they bring out all the dirty laundry.
Do they
A
bring
or
out
B,
the
or they take me to the
straitjackets?
grassy knoll. All right. They take me out there and they put me in a convertible.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, and George Bush's father's outside the book depository. So that's what happens to people that look. They have elections because their guys win. All right, like in the Roman days, they had elections
So
there
it's
too.
already
But
planned.
it's already. It gets selected before they're elected. Obama, everyone was all excited. Obama, okay, well, he's the same thing. Bush, he's like makes Bush look like a liberal. Okay,
Right.
you got all this surveillance that's going on, and nobody cares. This whole thing last week, that charade they were having, everyone's
Oh, the
talking
shutdown?
the shutdown. But look, they shut down your
And they
individual
waited until
rights.
10 minutes
Everyone's
till
being
the-
watched here. Nobody cares.
Yeah, but
Nobody cares.
they milked it till 10 minutes to the deadline, and then they come to a decision.
But everyone's outraged. Why aren't they outraged?
Yeah, what do we do?
Outraged that you're being surveilled. Isn't this bothering anyone?
That we're being watched
Nobody, but we
24/7?
Forget
Well,
the
we're-
NSA.
We're immobilized. We're totally immobilized, the public. There's no protest going on. We got wars in
Because
Afghanistan.
everybody's on Facebook.
Everyone's on Facebook and they're being spied there, and their minds are being destroyed by the cell phones. The only time they read is a text message.
Yeah, because we can't even read a fucking paragraph anymore. What
No.
what does this say?
And to keep everybody
Don't read
Look
it.
at that. There's too much writing on
No,
this.
there is.
I'm
It
just
says
kidding.
text, Wall Street.
Did you hear? I didn't even want to bring her up.
No,
but
it's
Miley,
called Nobody Will Read Anything Unless It's Hashtagged.
And Miss Miley Cyrus gets a letter from Sinead O'Connor. Did you see
Really?
that? And
It's that sad.
And she writes back to Sinead saying, "Your letter's too long, so I had my assistant read it to me and sum it up for me from my iPhone so I could get the major points." And
Really? Is
Yeah.
this here? Look how much writing is on this piece of paper.
but that's all about this day.
Oh, I see.
go through the facts
Why
of
don't you
what
have it on
happened.
5 or 6 different pages? This is like on microfilm. Seriously, it's very small type. I couldn't read it.
You can borrow my glasses.
Nixon agreed to turn over White House
This
tapes.
all happened on this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember doing that, but they came in anyway.
You want to see what
No, I
happened
can
on
see
this
it.
day?
My fellow Americans, let me make it perfectly clear. I ain't here. He started the drug war, in 19.
So Nancy could
19
stop it?
No, so they could go around and put protesters in jail. There were too many protests going on in the 60s.
Yeah,
Were you
but,
around in the 60s? No.
well, I wanted to be.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that was a
maybe-
great time to live.
Yeah.
Just like the Paris Commune was a great time to live for 2 years, or a year in Paris. And, being in Nicaragua, where I was in the 80s, was great. But being in America now
what do we-
sucks.
Well, but we have to make it a good place.
It's too late,
It's
man.
never
No,
too late.
There's a video
What
on
are you gonna
YouTube
do? You
saying
have to give up your life to try to make this.
Well,
a better
that's why
place.
we're having a show like this, so
You have
we
a
can
cigarette, by the way,
celebrate.
talking about?
Not
Give up
right
my
now.
life.
I can't smoke anymore. I'd be such an angry smoker. I used to love smoking cigarettes, but it was, first of all, you could afford them.
I'm trying to get off the
Second of
electronic
all-
cigarettes. That's why.
Second
I'm
of all,
hooked
you
on
could smoke them everywhere.
I know you could.
And
I
now,
don't watch a Bogart film without smoking.
we used to go to restaurants and rate them by, like, if this is a one, from when you ordered food till the food came, we would count like,
That's
oh,
right.
this is a 1 cigarette restaurant, this is a 3 cigarette restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, we used to
Yes.
play the game.
I do
You
that
can't
with shots
smoke
now.
in this bar here? Can you
No,
smoke
we
in
have to
this
go
bar?
down south to smoke.
All right, sweetheart, I'd like to have a cigarette. Where's mine? I don't have a cigarette now. I'm gonna regret it. Maybe like
So I know you already
tomorrow,
shared
sure.
a million skeletons from your closet.
Oh,
Yeah.
forget about it, man. Look, my AA sponsor used to say, you know what it's like when you grow up in the West Village? You go to bed, you get so whacked out, you go to bed with Mary, and you wake up with Mark. Did you ever hear that one?
No, but that
Yeah.
makes sense.
All right. Well, that's a lot
So
of
what's
booze,
your
a lot of
website?
blow.
How do people follow you? And what is your real message to tell people?
Oh,
How
man.
can we really make a
How
change
do
in
you
this
know
world?
what you gotta do? It's gotta go back to the pre-revolutionary days and have a real revolution here, I suppose.
So do you think a
Change
civil
rebellion.
war?
Not a civil war. Forget about it. They're too well armed.
Yeah.
The people in power are too well armed.
Yes.
They've got jails everywhere. You got 3 million Americans in prison. No one gives a damn about it. You have 10,000 people at Rikers on pot charges,
Right.
all black and Latino. Nobody cares, all right? Nobody really cares. And they didn't care about slavery, believe me. There was like in Massachusetts and Pennsylvania and a few other, upstate New York, there was like an anti-slavery and abolition robust movement. Not anywhere else in the country. Right now, we don't have enough people who are willing to
Get
go out
arrested?
and get arrested, you know, and who wants, look, they crushed us at Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah,
They crushed
they did.
us, and they were mean,
Yeah.
they put us in bad cells, some cops were, you know, they're told to do that.
Yeah.
How many cops shoot somebody in the back here, they get away with it? Amadou Diallo got away with it. Sean Bell got away with it. Polanco got away with it. Robert Lee Graham got away with it. It happens over and over and over again. And you know what? They're the shock troops for the, you know, the upcoming, are already here fascists. We live in a fascist country. Hate to say it, but wake up. They know where you live. They know what you're doing. You get on Facebook, you volunteer information. You're making the job very easy for the
Yeah.
FBI, the NSA, Homeland Security, all these other maggots.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what they are. That's what they do. They want your money. They want power.
Yeah.
You know, and they got all these schemes. You know, ever since 9/11, Rudy Giuliani, but that crap. And then you have, the police industrial
Thanks
complex.
for raising our spirits,
Well, I
Randy.
try to make you laugh too, and I've hogged the microphone for a
Yeah,
good 20 minutes.
but you're okay because we believe in you, and I really do, and I really hope that we can see a happy world. And
You can vote for me on November 5th.
Yes.
Tax laws.
let's vote for this
I
man.
got 2.5%
Yes.
of the vote again in
Will
the
you have a
Democratic
giant
primary.
bomb with you? If you
Democratic
win?
primary, yes. I always carry pot with me, but not today. All right.
Yeah, not today.
I'd say everyone. Who would you rather run into? You know, someone whose wife just left him, some big burly guy who just had 8 shots of Jack Daniels or a little bit of reefer.
Reefer.
Okay. And so I'll tell you another thing. Washington Square Park, with all the cops there in the buy-in bus, no pot, can't buy pot there anymore. You know what it's doing to the
It
falafel
doesn't even
business?
look like Washington Square Park
Yeah,
anymore. It looks
falafel
like Hollywood
business is
set.
like 5 falafel restaurants have closed since they
Oh,
cracked down on pot in
that
the
makes
neighborhood.
sense. People are not having their munchies.
They all go to Mamoon's.
Yeah, I
You know?
remember. On
Remember
McDougal.
Mamoon's? Yes, it's still there.
Yeah.
You know, the guy owns half the city.
He
Well,
does.
Yes. He waters down his tahini sauce, that's why.
So then he must be working for Bush.
Which one? George Sr.? George Sr., my son's a good boy. He just tried cocaine he was a young man at 49 when he did that. You know? God bless America. I tried cocaine. I don't know how to snort it. I don't.
So he
We're
shot
fighting
it?
cicadas as if he had any power. He just said, this is what you do. Go out there. And Clinton did the same thing. He was responsible for Iraq, too. Don't you forget that. He's the one that started bombing the no-fly zone. And he's smoking the cigar, and he let Rwanda. These guys are all the same.
They are.
I'm sorry I haven't let you get a word in.
That's okay.
Okay.
But okay.
But you're here all the time.
No, he's not.
You're not?
Every show we have a different co-host.
Oh,
and
I
this is
see.
That's
Ken
okay.
Rowell, the Who of the Day.
Jesus, Ed McMahon got more time than you're getting today.
I'm going up for a beer after this. That's
Are you?
Oh, yeah.
Which place are you going?
Right here.
On a
Really?
Shrunken Head.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. You have a good ale here?
Yeah,
Oh, they do?
they do.
Really?
Yours
Which
in
one?
can.
Which one do they have?
Ask Sophia, the bartender.
Oh, yeah? Sophia.
Yeah.
You just have one question. The documentary about you, 60 trips around the sun.
No, 60 Spence Round, son.
Ah, there you go. Well, I mean, obviously you endorse this. I mean, I want to make sure before I put your name on it, because it looks like it was done with your approval.
Well,
It
the
has
six,
full
no, a
footage.
lot of it I was reluctant to do.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Laura Keitlinger
Yeah.
and Jack Black, who was her boyfriend at the time, he produced it,
Okay.
and they followed me around. And back then I was, when they were following me around, I was doing blow back then. And so I was always agitated. I haven't done it in a long time, but that film came out 10 years ago.
Okay.
So I was like, I had a slip, a relapse, and I'm really cranky, cranky, excuse the pun, but but I do it is, that's what cocaine became. If it was the stuff that they have in Bolivia, I still do it. If I could get the stuff we snort a lot, and that's it for 45 minutes or an hour, no drinking. Now you do a hit and you need a double shot of the Jack Daniels and the rest of the bar, right?
Absolutely.
Shots of tequila, because it's all speed now, and we can go into that. But back then I was very cranky, but they still put that nice documentary together.
Yeah.
A lot of ex-girlfriends dropped a dime on me,
It's also the only place I've been able to find on YouTube where they've got the footage from her Tonight Show appearance.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to get that,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
I don't even have a copy of Tonight
Well,
Show.
you can look it up on
It's
YouTube.
actually pretty fascinating because they showed your stand up and then they had you narrating in between
Right.
clips, and it gave you the I guess the behind the scenes view of what it was like to be out there, which was at the same time the greatest story of your life and
Right.
the biggest disappointment of your life.
It's his birthday today.
Johnny
Yes.
CaRSon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's his
And
birthday.
we thank you so much
Dinner
for
for two.
stopping
Dinner
by.
for two
Yes.
at Mamoon's.
There you go. RaNdy CreDiCo.
Nice to
Vote
meet
for him for
There we
mayor.
go.
Thank you very much. November 5th, at Wall Street Park.
Yes.
There you go.
Let's do it. Let's change this planet.
Falafel.
Thank
that's
you
hot
so
in
much.
town. That's hot in
Good
town.
luck.
Thank you very
Good
much.
luck.
Sorry I hogged the show.
It's
Don't
okay.
worry. That's all
You
good.
deserve it. You can't steal my glasses
Oh,
though.
these are yours?
Yeah.
They look just like mine.
We'll be back.
There would be nothing called time. In a perfect world, everyone would get along oh so fine. In a perfect world, there is no right and there is no wrong. In a perfect